Uber grace, and we're getting down with the kingdom today, because one of the things Jesus said to us was seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Now, he just talked about not worrying about all sorts of physical and spiritual needs that you might have, and the antidote to all this stuff was actually seeking first the kingdom of God. Now, what does that actually translate to in modern English? Seeking. We don't do a lot of seek, we do hide and seek. Most of the word seek is actually see. So probably our first vision, our first view in our life, our big picture in our life should be his kingdom and his righteousness. That's cool. Okay, now what's his kingdom? That's a really tricky one. And you could say a kingdom is the domain of the king. Jesus said the kingdom is within you. So he's got this massive kingdom, TARDIS style, inside your heart. That's his kingdom, his domain of the king inside of you. Another translation in Strong's that I really like is the heavenly power. And I love that, heavenly power. And we've got this heavenly power that's within us, it's within reach, it's inside of us. And the biggest thing we should see, top thing first, prime thing we should see in our life is his power within us. Seek first the kingdom of God, all these things will be added to you. And his righteousness, it says as well, doesn't it? Which is great, because we're so good at trying to follow different laws and rules from the Bible and to make ourselves righteous, when actually our righteousness is in him. So if the first thing we need to see, the primary vision we have to have in our lives actually is his kingdom power, the royal power of heaven within us. And the fact that he is our righteousness. We don't have to be self-righteous. If we can get a head round that, and that is the first thing that we see, all these other things will be added unto us. Isn't that amazing? Because in his kingdom is fullness of life. In his kingdom is healing and all this other stuff, provision. Everything is in there in his kingdom. And if we've got physical need and illnesses and all the different stuff that we're battling with on a day-to-day basis, if we start to have our primary view, isn't all those problems and those needs that are legitimate, but actually our primary view is actually the royal power of heaven within us and his righteousness. We don't need to be anything anymore. We don't need to be praying and calling out to God and begging our Father to do something for us. Just see what is in the kingdom within you. Just see everything. One of the things Paul says the kingdom is righteousness, peace and joy. Peace and joy are amazing, because so many people are depressed today, and yet the kingdom is joy. And so many people are anxious today, and yet the kingdom is peace. And so many people, including so many Christians, and I'm not surprised with some of the elements of the gospel that they believe, but don't be looking at these things and all that sort of stuff. Just maybe look at the first view being the kingdom, where there is peace and joy. And I'm not saying sit there going, I think of the kingdom and I am peaceful, and I am joyful, and I am peaceful, and I am joyful, and working something up into a works. Just gently, just look at who that king is, what that kingdom is within you, what you have got bubbling up inside of you that you can see and speak out into reality. Wow, what a life we've been invited into. No wonder Jesus said, it's all about fullness of life. And I've come to save that's lost. What's been lost is our sense of identity and who we are as carriers of the royal power of heaven, the glory of God himself. Wowzers. So, maybe if we obeyed one or two of his commands, and again, a command, often we say command, and it is, but actually it's also a goal of his, that he wants to bring us into a place where we are seeing the royal power of heaven as the primary thing in our lives. And we're seeing his righteousness, not our self-righteousness, as the primary thing in our life. And then we can rock and roll and get down with the funky beats and live that life that God has got for us, which is full. Oh, I said that. Have a great day. That's this exciting stuff. Have a fantastic day. If this has been helpful, please give it a like, a comment, and please share. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.